He was born into chains, not metaphorical chains, real ones, iron, heavy, absolute. He was a slave. He had no freedom of movement, no freedom of choice, no freedom of body, and yet he became the most influential teacher of freedom who ever lived. He taught emperors. His words shaped the thinking of Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the most powerful empire on earth. His philosophy has guided soldiers, prisoners, athletes, and leaders for 2,000 years. How does a man in chains become the world's greatest teacher of freedom? Stay with me, because the answer is the most liberating idea you may ever encounter. Subscribe to this channel, because every Monday and Thursday we bring you the ideas that have stood for thousands of years and still work today. Like this video, share it. This philosophy will change the way you see every difficulty in your life. Let's go. I am Dr. TJ, a Harvard Fellowship trained surgeon and a distinguished Toastmaster, the highest honor in Toastmasters International, earned by less than 1% of members worldwide. And everything I am about to share with you comes from decades of real-world experience at the highest levels. He was born around 50 AD in Hierapolis, in what is now Turkey. He was born a slave. His master, a freed slave himself named Epictetus, was a secretary to the Emperor Nero. Epictetus allowed him to study philosophy under Musonius Rufus, one of the great Stoic teachers of the time. And something extraordinary happened. As he learned, as the Stoic ideas took root inside him, he began to understand something that would define his entire life. There are two categories of things in this world: things within our control and things outside our control. His body outside his control. He was a slave. His opinions, his desires, his responses, his values, those no one could touch. He was physically the least free man in Rome, while he was philosophically the most free. His master, Epictetus, was known for his cruelty. There is a story, possibly legend, possibly true, that Epictetus once twisted this man's leg for sport. The man reportedly said calmly, "You are going to break it." Epictetus continued. The man then said, "Did I not tell you that you would break it?" He said it without anger, without panic, without resistance, because he had already understood the most important thing. Pain was outside his control. His response to pain was entirely his own. This is the central teaching of this man, and it is as radical today as it was 2,000 years ago. Most of our suffering, he taught, does not come from what happens to us. It comes from our judgments about what happens to us. The event itself is neutral. It is our interpretation, our story about the event, that creates the suffering. Men are disturbed, he wrote, not by the things which happen, but by the opinions about the things. Read that again. Not the things which happen, the opinions about the things. Which means, if you can change the opinion, you change the experience. Not someday, not after therapy, in this moment, by choice. This man's name was Epictetus. After being freed, Epictetus established a school of philosophy in Nicopolis in Greece. Students came from across the Roman world to study with him. Among those influenced by his teachings, the emperor Marcus Aurelius, whose meditations, which we explored in week 4, were written under the direct influence of Epictetan philosophy. Epictetus never wrote anything himself. His student Arrian recorded his lectures in two works, the Discourses and the Enchiridion, meaning handbook. The Enchiridion opens with the most important sentence in Stoic philosophy. Some things are in our control and others are not. 5 words that divide the entire universe into 2 categories. And in that division lies total freedom. Because once you understand which category something belongs to, you know exactly how to respond. If it is in your control, act. Take responsibility. Change it. If it is outside your control, release it completely without resistance. A slave in Rome practicing this philosophy was freer than the emperor who owned him, because the emperor was enslaved to his reputation, his power, his fear of losing both. Epictetus was enslaved to nothing. Born in chains, died the freest man in Rome. Here are 3 quotations from Epictetus. The first: men are disturbed not by the things which happen, but by the opinions about the things. End quote, Epictetus. The second quote: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. End quote, Epictetus. The third and final quote: he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. End quote, Epictetus. Epictetus was born a slave. He could not control his chains. He controlled everything else. And in controlling everything else, he was freer than any emperor. Here is your challenge, and it is the most practical philosophical exercise you will ever do. Take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left, write, in my control. On the right, write, not in my control. Now take the biggest source of stress in your life right now and place every element of it into one of those 2 columns. Your thoughts about it, left column. Other people's reactions, right column. Your effort, left column. The outcome, right column. Your values, left column. Other people's opinions, right column. Now spend your energy exclusively on the left column. Release the right column completely. A slave did this in Rome 2000 years ago and became the most free person in the empire. You can do it today with a piece of paper and a line down the middle. Share this with someone who is suffering over something outside their control right now. Epictetus' 2-column exercise might be the most practical gift you can give them. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and come back Monday for more life-transforming stories.
You are unstoppable.